Alright, so this is going to pick up with chapter 4, lesson 2. This is going to be part 2 because this is a long chapter and I still have to explain the activities. Alright, so we're going to pick up on page 126, water and electricity. Again, reoccurring themes here. We've talked about soil, we've talked about gravel, we've talked about water, we've talked about transportation. So this should just be a review except for the new vocabulary that we're talking about. So, page 126, communities modify the environment to control the flow of water. They also change the land to get electricity. Water. In some areas, people dig wells to bring up underground water. So if you live out in the country, you might have what's called well water. So you've dug a hole and that's where you get your water out of. It can still come through your faucets and your showers and things like that, but you don't get water from where most people in the city would get water from. In other places, they build dams across rivers. Dams are huge structures built to hold water, to hold back water. If you look at this bottom corner, the picture down there, that would be a dam. And what it's doing is before the dam, all of this water is one big body of water, and they've put the dam here to split it. So they've stopped this water from coming here and this water from going there unless they open up some openings within the dam and allow it to go through. Now, dams you can drive over, okay? Most common dam that we have here would be the Lake Murray Dam. We have a dam at Lake Wateree, and they just hold and contain water so that way one area of the lake doesn't fill up too much. Bagnell Dam in Missouri was built in 1929. The dam created a large reservoir or human-made lake used for collecting and storing water. So reservoir is man-made and it's used for collecting and storing water, okay? And then we can use that water for lots of different things. Called the Lake of the Ozarks, it is a place where people enjoy fishing and water sports. So just because we have a dam built doesn't mean that we still can't use that water for enjoyment, or animals and wildlife don't go there anymore. Like, the water stays the same, it's just we've stopped it from going somewhere else. Dams also control the flow of rivers to prevent flooding. Some communities near rivers build walls called levees to keep back floodwaters. And levees are kind of like smaller dams. They work the same as dams, but they're not as massive and as large as dams. Turn to page 127, electricity. People also build dams to use water power. Water falling through the dams turns machines that produce electricity. So as the water flows, it's pushing on things that spin and create electricity, and people nearby can use that. We could use it from Lake Murray or Lake Wateree, but that's called hydroelectric power. Hydro means water. So we can use the power of the water flowing and rushing through the dam, through those openings that we talked about. It can flow into the dam, run through, power things, and can go out. People also get energy from wind. The wind power turns thousands of windmills called wind turbines to produce electricity. So as you have turbines here, we have them in the U.S. They're mainly out west, where the land is nice and open and flat, and as you see, no trees to block any of the wind or anything like that. So they catch every piece of wind breeze that there is, and then they spin. Think about, what are those toys? Oh, I can't think of it. It's a toy, and you blow in it, and the top spins. Okay, it's the exact same idea. And as it spins, it produces electricity. Not the toy, but this. The faster it spins, the more electricity that's produced. So this and water can give us some natural electricity So we're using, think of like solar panels. Okay, that's a natural way to get electricity as well, by sun, by wind, by water. Instead of having to recreate things, we just use things that are available. So what you're going to have for this is you're going to have changing the environment. Okay, this worksheet right here, it says these pictures show ways that people change the environment to meet their needs. Choose a word from the box and write it under the picture that it matches. So you have to figure out what these pictures represent and write it underneath. So you have dam, canal, bridge, and terraces. Okay, and then you have to match the picture with its description. Okay, it says by writing the number on the second line. Okay, so you can write what the picture is on the top. Okay, so as you can see, this is a picture of what? That's going to be a bridge. Okay, so you'll write bridge on top, and then you'll find the description of a bridge here and write the number underneath. Okay, so if it was number 1, then you would write 1 on that second line. If you need to go back and look at descriptions of what they are, you can use lesson 2, which stops on page 127 and it continues on page 122, or it starts at 122 and goes through 127. Then part 2 of this worksheet is going to be like this. Okay, so it says use the terms in the box below to help find a solution, then write your sentence on the lines. So in the box, irrigation, windmill, tunnel, or mine. And so your problem, you're given a problem. Okay, a farmer's fields are located far away from a source of water. He needs to water his crops during dry months without rain. So are we going to use irrigation, windmill, tunnel, or a mine to help solve his problem? And how is that going to solve his problem? Don't just write the word here. You need to write a sentence. We would use blank because it would blank. Like, how does this term help here? Okay, so you have 4 problems that you have to figure out how to use. Okay, all right, so we are going to stop. That's the end of lesson 2. Again, that's 122 through 127 if you need it for the worksheets.